So we'll continue with the polity current affairs. We stopped in the middle yesterday. Now we'll start with the next one. Change of surrogacy rules. What is surrogacy? So it is a kind of ART, alternative reproductive technology, where renting a womb, in a layman's term you can call it as renting a womb. That is where the child production or child birth will be given by the help of womb from another woman. So that is assisted reproductive technology. So generally what happened in India, this is two types, altruistic and commercial. Commercial is completely banned in India. Altruistic surrogacy is only allowed in India. What is altruistic surrogacy? What is altruism? Yes, kind of service, being compassionate. So that is only altruistic surrogacy is allowed in India. So in this, earlier what happened is, according to the rules, the gametes should be from parents only. So gametes were being collected from parents. They were utilized, or they are used for in vitro fertilization, and those fertilized zygote was being transmitted to the surrogate mother. So this was the process earlier. But recently what happened, some of the parents have filed a challenge against this rule, saying to allow donor gametes also. For this surrogacy. So that is the gametes coming from not just from the parents, from donors from outside. So their contention was, if any parent had a medical condition which hampers their gamete production, so this was their challenge. So Supreme Court said it allowed this donor gametes for the first time, altering the previous surrogacy rules. But the clause was that one of the gamete must be from parent. So this was the key change in the surrogacy rules. So one gamete must be coming from the parents if one of the either parent has some medical condition where the gamete production is problematic. So this change has been given in recently by our Supreme Court. So this has reversed the ban of donor gametes which were present in the earlier rules. Also, this applicability will not be applicable to widowed or single mothers. This change of usage of donor gamete, this will be only applicable to the parents who are both are there. Will not be applicable to widowed or single mothers. They cannot claim this exemption of using donor gametes for surrogacy. So this was the important change. So surrogacy is an assisted reproductive method where a woman carries and delivers a child for another individual or couple. That is surrogacy. Post birth, the child is handed over to the biological parents. So types of surrogacy: altruistic surrogacy and commercial surrogacy. So commercial surrogacy is completely banned in India. It is not allowed. And altruistic surrogacy means there won't be any financial compensation. Only the medical expenses of the surrogate mother will be taken care of according to the rules. Right? This is altruistic surrogacy. So the key change was when one of the intending parents suffers from a medical condition certified by a district medical board, at least one gamete must be originating from the intending couple. So this does not apply to the widowed or divorced women or single mothers, single women, single unmarried women are still barred from pursuing the surrogacy. So this change has an important effect which had reversed the ban of using donor's gamete. Arthamainda? Clear? So what happened in earlier surrogacy was, so both the gametes were being collected from mother and father and they were fertilized in the in vitro, and that zygote was being transferred into a surrogate mother. But a condition came, if either mother or father, they cannot generate gametes. So for that condition, they have approached the Supreme Court and they have changed the rules, saying if it is certified by a medical board, then it is allowed to use donor gamete. For example, father's sperm is not viable gamete. Then this mother's egg will be connected and a donor sperm will be collected rather than the father's. That will be fertilized and will be transferred to the surrogate mother. The same case with the vice versa, if mother's ovum is not fertile, right? So here the clause is one of the gamete must be from the parents, and it will not, this exemption will not be available to the single mothers or widowed mothers. So this is about the change in the surrogacy rules. Then next one, Uniform Civil Code. Why it is in news? Yes, correct. Which article deals with the Uniform Civil Code? 44. What comes under this? Marriage, divorce, property, yes, property inheritance, so this is in news because the recent passing of Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code. So the important points under this Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code is, it banned child marriages, it banned halala, polygamy, it banned polygamy, it banned nikah halala, also in the property it had promoted equal rights for both sons and daughters, no distinction between legitimate and illegitimate children, also adopted children will also have equal rights. So these are the important changes. What is nikah halala? Yes. So nikah halala is a practice in some sects of the Muslims where once they undergo the triple talaq, after divorce, if the same woman wants to marry the same husband, she has to marry and consummate with another person and then give triple talaq there, and then she can marry the earlier husband. So this process is known as nikah halala, right? So this also, the Uttarakhand Act also said that all the live-in relationship must be registered. Mandatory registration. Based on this, it also provided a point of compensation for females in case of issues of separation. So also the children born for the living relationship, they will also have this legitimacy rights of property. So this is also included in Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code, right? So it is applicable to the heterosexual. One of the criticism is it is applicable to the heterosexual relationships only. So it ignored the rights of LGBTQ. So these are the some of the facts regarding Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code. Right? So Uniform Civil Code of Uttarakhand, it banned polygamy, it banned child marriages, completely prohibiting this practice. Halala prohibition effectively bans halala without explicitly naming it, nikah halala. And then common provisions, marriages can be solemnized to the ritual specific to the communities like Saptapadi, nikah, Anand Karaj. Then property rights, equal properties for both sons and daughters. There won't be distinction of legitimate children and illegitimate children. The children born to the live-in relationships also have the legitimacy of acquiring of the property. Right? So equal inheritance after the death of the parents includes adopted children along with the biological children in the case of property matters. Then live-in relationship, there should be a mandatory registration. Live-in partners must register their relationship. So children born from their relationship will be legitimate. Women deserted in this will be entitled to a maintenance. Age criteria in the living relationships must not be under 81. For those under 18 to 21, registrars must inform their parents and guardians. Applicability, residents of the Uttarakhand in heterosexual relationships, not the homosexual relationship, saying the rights of LGBT individuals are exempted out. Also some small tribal communities are also exempted out from this Uniform Civil Code like Tharu, Jaunsari, Buksa, Bhotia and Razi. Some tribes, please note it down, some tribes like Tharu, Jaunsari, Buksa, Bhotia and Razi. So they are exempted from the Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code. Right? So what is Uniform Civil Code in general? It is 44 of DPSP's Article 44. So it is a proposal in India to formulate and implement the personal laws of the citizens, regardless of their religion, gender and sex. They cover areas like marriage, divorce, maintenance, inheritance, adoption and succession. In India, currently personal laws of various communities are governed by their religious scriptures. There is no specific UCC. Then the next one, there is nothing to explain. This is just a facting where PIB has presented one fact check unit. What is PIB? Press Info Bureau. It has presented a fact check unit to prevent the spread of malinformation or misinformation. or fake news. So objective to act as a deterrent to the fake news and misinformation, especially concerning to the government of India. So functionality, it provides a mechanism for the public to report suspicious or misleading information about government policies and actions. So this is a direct thing. Then next one is democracy report. So democracy report is released by VDEM Institute. It is based on Sweden, University of Gothenburg, VDEM Institute. So it classifies democracy based on this index, Liberal Democratic Index. Liberal Democratic Index. Liberal Democratic Index. Liberal democracy, electoral democracy, electoral autocracy, and closed autocracy. So it classifies the regimes into 4 kinds: liberal democracy, electoral democracy. You can come here if you are not able to see. Please come. Electoral autocracy, closed autocracy. These are the 4 regimes based on liberal democracy index given by VDEM Democracy Report 2024. Right? So India's performance, India has ranked 104 in Liberal Democratic Index. Do you want me to put earlier slide? Koncham fast ga. We have to finish lot of things today. Yeah. Four kinds, 4 categories unnai ante indulo. LDI, VDEM ane oka institute ichindi. It is based on Sweden. So India rank vachi 104. Liberal Democratic Index, India ranked 104 out of 179. So Electoral Democracy Index, it slipped to 110. Liberal Component Index, it slipped to 92. So generally India's concern is once this report came out, India said that we don't believe in such reports because one of the recent reports said people in Ukraine and Russia are much happier than India. So the survey methods are whatever their methodologies. So quoting that, India said we are not going to believe that. So concerns raised by Indian government, subjective methodologies in that questionnaire design, lack of transparency, insufficient disclosure of opinion polls. Like World Happiness Reports 2023 says that regions from Ukraine and Palestine are higher than India, highlighting inconsistencies in this global indices. Right? So facts for prelims, you have to remember this VDEM Institute, these categories and India's ranks. In this VDEM report, Democracy Report 2024. Then the next one, Holistic Progress Card. So Holistic Progress Card is a revamp or what you call revolutionary method or a different method from the regular progress card which is in current educational system, where it is more about the collaborative approach on assessing the child's performance. It is about assessing what the child is really learning. So the assessment will be from the child himself, the teachers, the peers, parents and the society. So this is Holistic Progress Card. This is being promoted in the lines of new educational policy. Holistic Progress Card. It represents a shift from traditional year-end exam-based assessment, more learner-centered, comprehensive, as aligned with National Curriculum Framework for School Education. So stages till now, for early 1 and 2, 3 and 5, 6 and 8, they have formulated. For secondary stage is still under development. So main learner-centered evaluation. It goes beyond academics. It evaluates the cognitive, emotional and social development. Encourages self-awareness and active participation. That is, the child himself, he will rank himself how much he is learning from the school, how much he is participating in the activities. Holistic progress card, unlike the regular progress card we had where subjects and marks were mentioned, this is a different approach, emphasizing the self-centered learning child approach. The evaluation is learner-centered, right? So academic performance, traditional subject evaluation will be there. Life skills like self-awareness, relationships, problem solving, emotional intelligence, creativity. Student reflection like he has to write, I learned something new, I expressed a creativity, I helped others. So it is a whole, it's not just about the academic performance, but a complete character building initiative in the lines of new educational policy. So states are encouraged by PARAK. PARAK is performance assessment, review, analysis of knowledge of holistic development, to adapt this HPC to suit local needs. Performance assessment, review and analysis of the knowledge for holistic development. Holistic performance card features, they might ask, or they can give a statement like the holistic performance card is about. Then we'll move to the next topic, the changes that were adopted in MNREGS. Yes. Instructions ఇచ్చారు, గైడ్లైన్స్ ఇచ్చారు, ఇలా చేసుకోండి అని చెప్పి ఎన్ఈపి ప్రకారం ఇచ్చారు. సో ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ దెర్ ఈస్ జనరల్ ఇవేంటంటే రూల్స్ చెప్తారు, దెర్ వోంట్ బి లీగల్ నువ్వు ఖచ్చితంగా ఇలాగే చేయాలి అని డైరెక్టివ్స్ ఇస్తారు. సో బట్ టు బి ప్రిసైజ్, ఇఫ్ దే హ్యావ్ టు రిజిస్టర్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సిబిఎస్ఈ బోర్డ్తో రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోవాలి. సిబిఎస్ఈ బోర్డ్ విల్, if they have aligned with the NEP, they will say that mandatory this thing should be done for to get your school to get registered by us. So ala rules ఉంటాయి. కమిటీ కాదు, ఇక్కడ ఇది ఉంది కదా నేషనల్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్, ఈ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ నుంచి వచ్చింది, నేషనల్ కరికులం ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ ఫర్ స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. ఎస్, దెన్ సో MN Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Program, some changes were done in January 2024 regarding this program, where the beneficiaries were linked with Aadhaar. The beneficiaries were linked with Aadhaar. So Aadhaar based payment system was initiated. Aadhaar based payment system was initiated, but the issue came where 35% of the MNREGS people had not proper Aadhaar linkage. Also, there have been multiple concerns from the people saying almost 30 lakhs, 3.9 million accounts. These were removed from the MNREGS payments. 3.9 million accounts of the payment accounts were reduced due to the Aadhaar linking issue. So this is the important thing which has been bone of contention even in the recent news. between government and opposition. Aadhaar based payment system. Almost you are seeing daily articles from Jairam Ramesh regarding this. So mandatory Aadhaar based payment system. The concerns have been raised about potential exclusions. Approximately 35% of job card holders were ineligible for ABPS at the time of implementation. Also, the revised wage rates. This is another change. The ministry has notified new wage rates reflecting 3 to 10% increasing, varying by states. This has been increased based on Consumer Price Index agricultural labors. Changes in the CPI agricultural labors. Based on that, it had prescribed increase of the wage payments by 3 to 10% in different states. So two important changes. And then introduction of National Mobile Monitoring System to improve the transparency and attendance. Real-time attendance. National Mobile Monitoring System for transparency and attendance. Then ethical guidelines for Project Unnati. It focuses on skill development. Project Unnati, it focuses on skill development for MGNREGS beneficiaries so that they get full employment. Also, there has been a component of increased funding to the Anganwadi centers. It has been raised from 5 lakhs to the 8 lakhs. So, important points. Number of Aadhaar based payments have reduced. Wage rates have increased. A transparent mechanism has been introduced through NMMS. Project Unnati for upskilling of the workers, and then increased funding to the Anganwadi centers from 5 to 8 lakhs. Right? So the issue is, the contention is, as of December 2023, approximately 35% job holders were ineligible for the payments, excluding millions from the wages. A report highlighted that 3.9 million payments accounts were reduced due to Aadhaar linking issues affecting rural workers' access to the wages. So this is the main contention. So transition has led to significant payment delays. For instance, 67 million workers, they still not have received the payments from April 2024, indicating the issues in the payment process. Data analysis revealed that 7.6 crore workers' names were deleted over the 21 months due to discrepancies between Aadhaar and job card details. So these are the different issues concerning with the changes in the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Program. Right? Then Bilkis Bano case. So in the Bilkis Bano case, the convicts were given remission. What happened in the Bilkis Bano case? Yes. So what is Article 72 and 161? Pardoning powers of the President and Governor. So what is pardon? Completely getting acquitted. Completely getting acquitted from the charges and released from the prison. Then what is commutation? Commutation is amount. Decrease in the amount. So decrease in the amount into a lighter form. For example, if he has been with the death penalty, that will be shifted to the life imprisonment. Or if it is 21 years, then it will be shifted to the 10-12 years. So decreasing the amount of that punishment, that is commutation. Sir, what is remission? The same thing will be there, but time period, mission is time. Remission. So the same thing, same punishment but shorter period of time. Whereas commutation is the amount. Commutation is from severe form to the lighter form. Whereas this remission, time is rescheduled. Same punishment to a shorter period. And respite, remember this SP. So special circumstances. Respite, special circumstances, like for example pregnancy or disability. In that conditions, they will be awarded lesser punishment. Respite, special circumstances. Then reprieve, for some temporary period that will be halted. Temporarily suspending the execution of a sentence, especially death sentence, to allow for reconsideration. Reprieve. You can call it as postponement. Respite, SP, special. Commutation, amount from stronger to lighter form. Remission, same punishment for smaller period of time, right? So this will be in news because of the acquittal of this Bilkis Bano convicts. So also this will also be asked frequently by UPSC in the prelims. Differences in the pardoning powers of governor and the president, right? So what is the major difference? So who can pardon or who can have this pardoning powers over the court martial? Can governor do that? No, only president can do that. So the president powers are wider and they include both national and military cases, whereas governors, it is limited to the state laws. So is this pardoning powers, are they voluntary by president and governor? No. They have to be approved by the Council of Ministers. On the basis of advice of Council of Ministers, they have to take the decision. Whether the convict can ask the president or give a timeline to finalize his case? No, he cannot put a timeline or request the timeline. He can only apply for his consideration. He cannot put a timeline to the president or governor. Then, so those minute points, please go back and read in the polity. This will be important thing. I think the question might come in UPSC Prelims. Article 72 and 161. Please go back and brush your facts. Then the next topic, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Preamble. So this is in news because this terms of socialist and secular which were added into the preamble, a case has been filed in the Supreme Court to remove these terms based on different arguments. That is why this has been news. So the 42nd Amendment has added a socialist and secular, which was there before sovereign, democratic and republic. It has been changed into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. So in and around value addition, you go back, read about the chronology of addition of these terms. So which amendment added which terms in the preamble. So chronology of additions, they can put like 4321, 3124, that format. So try to go back and brush the topic. Then Hatti community. So they belong to Himachal Pradesh. So why this is in news is the state has accorded them ST status, but immediately This was revoked by court judgment claiming the process had defects without complete due consideration, where the advanced communities from the Hatti, advanced sections from Hatti community were not removed from the list. So this belongs to Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh. So what is HAT? HAT is tribal market. HAT. So based on this, their community is named as Hattis. So what is the constitutional basis for provision of this ST category? So Article 342(1) and 342(2). They provide the framework of specifying the scheduled tribes in that state. So who will have the power to include this ST list? State or parliament? Which one? Yes, parliament. So the empowers parliament to include or exclude communities into the list through the legislation. So what are the different criteria? Criteria for listing into the scheduled tribal category: primitive traits, distinct culture, geographical isolation, shyness from contact, and backwardness in access to amenities. So 5 categories or 5 principles that will be utilized to define a community whether it will fit into scheduled tribe status or not. So primitive traits, distinct culture, geographical isolation, shyness from the contact, and backwardness. Please go back and read about the criteria for PVTGs. What is PVTG? Particularly vulnerable tribal groups. This also can be asked as MCQ. So Hatti community, so they reside in Transgiri, Jaunswar and Bawar regions of Himachal Pradesh. The region is situated near Uttarakhand border, where the Jaunswar community has already ST status. So named after the local markets known as HATs, tribal HATs. So procedure, for inclusion in scheduled tribe category, constitutional basis 342(1), it provides the framework specifying the scheduled tribes in that state. 342(2) empowers the parliament to include or exclude a community from the list through the legislation. (342)(1) and 342(2). Criteria: primitive traits, distinct culture, geographical isolation, shyness of the contact, and backwardness in access to education, healthcare and other socio-economic indicators. So these are the categories, or these are the criteria for inclusion into the list by parliament through a legislation. Right? So this is why this is in news is because the issue with the Hatti community. Then the next one, Mulya Pravah. So Mulya Pravah is guidelines given by UGC aimed at promotion of ethical and human values in educational institutions. Mulya Pravah is a guidelines issued by UGC to promote ethical practices and human values in higher educational institutions. So how will it ensure? It emphasizes on transparent administration, unbiased decision making, institutions prioritizing institution over the public and must prioritize institutional and public interest over self-interest. Ethics by integrity, fairness, ethical standards, promoting the culture of honesty, all these things. This Mulya Pravah includes all these guidelines, how to imbibe this ethical practices or fairness in higher educational institutions. So the question can come like, so Mulya Pravah 2.4 deals with 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean A, B, C, D, which is correct. So inclusivity, like constitutional values, inclusivity across the genders, castes, communities, global citizenship, confidentiality versus public scrutiny, encourages a balance between confidentiality and accountability, role of teachers and staff. Teachers should also act as ethical role models. These are the different guidelines given under Mulya Pravah. So last one of this polity, ICJ, International Court of Justice. Why this is in news? South Africa went and filed a case against Israel, saying it didn't prevent the genocide. South Africa filed case on Israel about attacks in Gaza Strip. So genocide, that saying Israel has flouted genocide resolution filed at the ICJ. So that is why this is in news. So what it said, the order is like, it ordered Israel to abound with that genocide resolution, but it did not take Israel as guilty. So this was order, and we will have to remember some facts about ICJ. So ICJ, it is a principal judicial organ of UN. It is located at Hague, Netherlands. It will have 15 judges representing from all the continents. 15 judges, Africa 3, Asia 3, Latin America and Caribbean 2, Western Europe 5, Eastern Europe 2. I don't think that much is not, just remember 15 judges. Then the point is, no country can have 2 judges at same time. That point you can remember. And the contention cases will be, it resolves the disputes between states. It resolves the disputes between states, including sovereignty, territorial disputes. Individuals cannot approach ICJ. Individuals cannot approach. International Court of Justice. So official languages, this point you have to remember, English and French are the official languages. English and French are the official languages. So, ICJ is a principal judicial organ of UN established in 1945 under UN Charter, located at Peace Palace, Hague, Netherlands. So 15 judges elected for 9-year term. This term also you remember as fact, 9 years term. Judges from the diverse region. Elections are held by UNGA and UNSC simultaneously but independently. Judges take an oath of impartiality and cannot be dismissed unless unanimously deemed unfit by the fellow judges. Role: resolves the disputes between the states, including sovereignty, territorial disputes and state responsibilities. Based on the state responsibility only, South Africa filed a case against Israel that it has not took the responsibility of preventing genocide what is happening in the Palestine. So jurisdiction is voluntary, meaning states must consent. There is a principle of consent. Then advisory opinions, it provides a non-binding legal interpretations to the UN organs and agencies. Administration, it is supported by a registry. Official languages are English and French. Recent news, as I was telling, South Africa has taken Israel to the ICJ, accusing it genocide in Gaza, highlighting court's relevance in addressing contemporary international disputes. So this was the reason ICJ was in news, right? So these are some of the important topics from the polity section.
So what does it mean jurisdiction is voluntary?
That means they have to, same like CBI investigation, the state must have that consent to accept that. For example, if there is an issue, both parties should consent, should have to accept that this will be settled at the place of ICJ. If one country will not accept, they will not give that consent, then there is no issue of the judgment or whatever the trial, that won't happen. It will be only with the consent of both parties. Right? So we'll move to places in news. Geography. First one is Chandaka Dampara Wildlife Sanctuary. Why it is in news? It is in news because Odisha government has decided to introduce bisons like Gar and Sambar to this wildlife sanctuary. So location in Odisha is important. Chandaka Dampara Wildlife Sanctuary. So this is located in Odisha here. So you have to remember the state, Odisha. In news because the introduction of Sambar and Gar. Chandaka Dampara Wildlife Sanctuary. Right? Then, so here it is located near to the Bhubaneswar. Then Chanke Port. In which country this Chanke Port is located? Peru. Chanke. CHANCAY, Chanke Port. So this is a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China. This is a part of Belt and Road Initiative, and this recently has come into effect, utilization. That is why it is in the news. What is BRI? What is Belt and Road Initiative? Yes. For what? Belt and Road. Why China is interested in this Belt and Road Initiative?
Strategically controlling.
Yes, for strategic control of the different things. So it is an adjunct to the earlier string of pearls by China. So string of pearls is connection of multiple seaports, whereas Belt and Road Initiative is about both land and ports. So it is a continuation of Chinese strategic moves over different aspects. In that connection, the recent deep water port in Peru, Chanque port. So this is located here on the coast of Pacific. Chanque port. So all these are the ports that are backed by China. So Chanque port in Peru, this location is important. So this is BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, where the road and ports are integrated for strategic importance. Belt and Road Initiative picture, where the China has its presence in some or the other form. BRI, one of the important questions for IR. Then RLC. Where is this RLC? Third one is RLC. RLC is between the countries of Kazakh and Uzbek. So it is completely landlocked sea. Why it is in news? It is in news because continuous shrinking is happening. So the area which it has covered, it was the fourth largest inland water body, but now from an area of 70,000 to 70,000 square kilometers to, it has now shrunk to the 17,000, from around 68,000 of square kilometers to 17,000. It's now just some 3 to 4 small water bodies. RLC, it is located in Central Asia between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. So this is why it was in news because of shrinkage. So this is RLC, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, RLC, between Kazakhstan and Uzbek. So the shrinkage is like this. With the time passing, the area, it is getting shrinked more and more. It was around 70,000 square kilometers, now it is around 17,000 square kilometers. So it is between Kazakh and Uzbek. So location will be important. Then Gulf of Aden. Yes. So drainage has decreased, and there has been more about once the main reason was the drainage which was earlier, it got it got very much reduced. So that is the important. Then this geoplate thing, what is happening? It is the land is coming up and up. Yeah. Then Gulf of Aden. Where is Gulf of Aden? At the Horn of Africa. So this is Gulf of Aden at the Horn of Africa. So it is in news because our INS has prevented the sea piracy, and also this region is always will be in news. Red Sea, Gulf of Aden. So Gulf of Aden is bounded by Yemen, Somalia and Djibouti. This small strait which connects this Gulf of Aden with the Red Sea is called Bab al-Mandeb. Bab al-Mandeb. This one, Bab el Mandeb. It connects Red Sea with the Gulf of Aden. Right? So the INS, Indian Navy recently deployed INS Sumitra to rescue the fishermen hijacked by pirates along the east coast of Somalia. Along the east coast of Somalia. East coast. So it is an extension of the Indian Ocean tucked between Arabian Peninsula and African continent at the Horn of Africa. It is bordered by Yemen in the north, Somalia in the south, and Socotra Island in the south, Arabian Sea in the east, and Djibouti in the west. Djibouti, Yemen, Somalia. So it is connected to the Red Sea on the west by Strait of Bab el Mandeb. Bab el Mandeb Strait. Bab el Mandeb Strait. This one. So it is a part of Suez Canal shipping routes which connects the Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. So very important, multiple times the questions were asked in this region, be with the Red Sea or Gulf of Aden or Bab el Mandeb. Please try to have a look whenever you find the time. So Gulf of Aden, Somalia, Yemen, Socotra, this island which was in the east side, and back here you find Djibouti, and the connection is Bab el Mandeb into the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, Socotra. Right? So then Baltic Sea. Where does this Baltic Sea will be there? Correct. Correct. So Baltic Sea, why it is in news is scientists have discovered a wall, Stone Age wall beneath the Baltic Sea in Germany. It is believed to be oldest megastructure constructed by humans in the Europe. That is why it was in news. So Baltic Sea, it is a semi-enclosed sea in northern Europe. This is the Baltic Sea. So it is in connection with the Atlantic, North Atlantic. If you see Scandinavian countries, తెచ్చుకున్నారా మ్యాప్ చెప్పాను. So it is a branch of North Atlantic Ocean stretching northwards southern Denmark towards Arctic Circle. It divides Scandinavian Peninsula from the rest of the Europe, Baltic Sea. So its borders are shared by Sweden, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Finland, Estonia, Germany, Denmark and Russia. మ్యాప్ మీ దగ్గర పెట్టుకుంటే ఈజీగా అనిపిస్తుంది. ఊరికే ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ వినాలంటే ఇబ్బంది ఉంటుంది. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ జస్ట్ ఓపెన్ ఇన్ యువర్ మొబైల్ అండ్ సర్చ్ ఫర్ బాల్టిక్ సీ. దట్ వుడ్ బి ఈజీ. So this is Baltic Sea. Important things are, it has three gulfs, three main gulfs. Gulf of Bothnia, Finland and Gulf of Riga. Gulf of Finland, Gulf of Riga and Gulf of Bothnia here. Gulf of Bothnia to the north, Gulf of Finland and Gulf of Riga. This is Gulf of Bothnia, Gulf of Finland, Gulf of Riga. So this is commonly referred to as largest brackish inland water body. Its water is less salty compared to the world oceans because inflow of fresh water from the surrounding land. And the sea has also got shallow depth. So you have to remember these borders also. Russia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Russia, Germany. Yes, Poland. Correct. So all these borders you have to remember. And 3 gulfs. Gulf of Bothnia, Finland and Riga. Then Wadgay Bank. The next one is Wadgay Bank. Where is it? Yes, 50 kilometers into the sea from Kanyakumari. So it is in the Indian Ocean, where India has considered to, it has been considering to offer 3 oil and gas blocks for exploration in this bank. So this is Wadgay Bank on the south of India from 50 kilometers from the Kanyakumari, Wadgay Bank. So this is an 10,000 square kilometers area. It features shallow waters, nearly flat bottom topography, very rich in biodiversity, most valuable fishery resource. So this low intensity of currents and waves makes it ideal location for the availability of nutrients and food, fish food. It is to the south of Kanyakumari, 50 kilometers from the Kanyakumari in the Indian Ocean. Wadgay Bank. Wadgay Bank. Right? Then next one, Chittari Estuary. So Chittari Estuary is in news because the laughing gull has been observed for the first time here. So it belongs to, laughing gull is a migratory bird, and this Chittari Estuary, it belongs to Kerala state. Chittari Estuary belongs to Kerala state, Kasaragod district. So the bird laughing gull, a migratory bird, it has been first time discovered in this Chittari Estuary. Chittari Estuary in Kerala. So here it is Chittari Estuary in Kerala towards Arabian Sea. What is estuary? Yes. So it is on the coast of Arabian Sea. Chittari Estuary. Try to remember. Then Sela Tunnel Project. So it is in news because PM has inaugurated this Sela Tunnel in Arunachal Pradesh. Sela Tunnel Project. Arunachal Pradesh. So this has been constructed by Border Roads Organization, and it is world's longest twin tunnel. Longest twin tunnel. And it is the highest tunnel in India. It provides an all-weather connectivity to Tawang via Sela Pass. Where is this Sela Pass is located? In which state? Arunachal Pradesh. So it is along the border with China near line of actual control. It will reduce the travel time. The Sela Pass, it connects the West Kameng district on Balipara Charidwar Tawang road that connects Tejpur in Assam to Tawang. in Arunachal Pradesh. So this is where the Sela Pass is there, along the line of actual control with the China. In Arunachal Pradesh, world's longest twin tunnel, India's highest tunnel. So along the China border in Arunachal Pradesh, Sela Pass, Sela Tunnel project. Then Gulf of Tonkin, next one, Gulf of Tonkin. In which sea it is located? South China Sea. Gulf of Tonkin is located in South China Sea. So this is in news because China has accepted the rights over this Gulf of Tonkin. It is also known as Bibu Gulf or Bakbo Gulf. So this is Gulf of Tonkin. On north side it is China, on west side it is Vietnam. Part of South China Sea. A very vibrant region, Spratly Islands, Paracel Islands, these are always in news. So Gulf of Tonkin in South China Sea, where it is bordered by China to the north and the east, Vietnam to the west. It receives water from multiple rivers, primarily from Red River, Yuan River. North and east and west. North and east by China and west by Vietnam. So it connects the South China Sea through its southern mouth and Hainan Strait in the northeast. This one, Hainan Strait, Hainan Dao. Here this is Hainan Strait. This is Gulf of Tonkin. This is China. This is Vietnam. This is Gulf of Tonkin. This is Hainan Strait in the South China Sea. So Vietnam has urged for respect for international law after China has set a baseline in the Gulf of Tonkin. This action sparked concerns due to overlapping claims of both China and Vietnam. That is why it was in news. Yes. Then the next one is Darien Gap. Where do you see this Darien Gap? Yes. So Darien Gap is in news because of illegal migration into US. So this is a around 60 to 80 kilometer stretch of jungle. A jungle where there are no clear connection, but still people are using this as a means for of illegal movement into the US. Darien Gap. This is how the illegal immigration is happening in the Darien Gap. So this stretch has no proper connectivity because of dense jungle. Darien Gap. So Darien Gap is in news because of the illegal immigration. It is a stretch of densely forested jungle across northern Colombia and southern Panama. Panama and Colombia. This is Panama and this is Colombia. So this is in news because of heavy immigration. People are using this as a porous border for immigration. Darien Gap. This is referred to as Darien Gap. Also this road is known as Panama Highway, which was built with the help of US. Panama Highway. Only this 60 kilometer stretch, there is no highway. Great Panama Highway. So this is known as Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia. So it has become a major route for global human migration despite no paved roads. It is around roughly 97 kilometers, muddy, wet terrain, Darien Gap. Then the next one, Kiru hydroelectric project. So why is in this news? So this is in news because India has developed a river on Chenab. India has developed a which was opposed by Pakistan. So what are the rivers that are allotted? What are the rivers that are allotted to the India according to the ICJ? Yes, Sutlej, Ravi and Bias according to Indus Water Treaty. And for Pakistan, Jhelum, Chenab and Indus. So this is located in Jammu and Kashmir over Chenab River. So this is the Chenab River. It is located over Chenab River in Jammu and Kashmir. Here it is. Kiru hydroelectric project. So try to remember the river name and state. Chenab River and Jammu Kashmir. Then Nusantara. What is Nusantara? It is a proposed new capital of Indonesia. The capital which is presently in island of Sumatra, I guess Sumatra, it is being shifted to the Borneo island because of the climate change. So proposed new capital of Indonesia, Nusantara. So this capital is being shifted to Borneo island of Indonesia. So these are the different islands of Indonesia: Sumatra, Java, Bali, Borneo. So the shift is happening to the Borneo island, Nusantara. Right? Then next one, Doyang Reservoir. So it is in news because of Amur falcons. Doyang Reservoir. In which state is this? Nagaland. Doyang Reservoir in Nagaland. Doyang Dam Reservoir, where it forms a resting spot for the migratory bird Amur falcon. Doyang Reservoir or Doyang Dam in Nagaland, a resting spot for migratory bird Amur falcon. Right? Try to remember the state name. Then Point Calimere Bird Sanctuary. Point Calimere Bird Sanctuary. So it is in Tamil Nadu. It is flanked by Bay of Bengal in the east and Park Strait in the south. It primarily focuses on the protection and conservation of black antelopes, black bucks, an endangered and endemic species of that region. It is also a designated Ramsar site. Point Calimere Wildlife Sanctuary or bird sanctuary. This is where it is in Tamil Nadu towards the Bay of Bengal. Point Killimore Wildlife Bird Sanctuary. So the Park Strait will be south of it, which passes between Sri Lanka and India. Right? Then Sheba Farms. Where are these located? Sheba Farms? Sheba Farms are located at near Golan Heights. Yes, in Middle East. So it is a disputed strip of land between Lebanon, Syria and Israel. So it is strategically important because it is located at the border. So it provides strategic asset over that regional conflicts. Sheba Farms. So this question was asked in UPSC about Golan Heights. So Golan Heights, which were frequently in news, belongs to which region? So this was the question. So the question was like options were given, Middle East or Southeast Asia. So such were the options. This was asked in UPSC 2016, I guess. So Sheba Farms. So if you see, this is Lebanon, this is Syria, this is Israel, this is Golan Heights, you term it as Golan Heights. This is Sheba Farms. At a trijuncture of Syria, Lebanon and Israel. Sheba Farms. Right? Also try to remember that Sea of Galilee between Golan Heights and Israel. Sea of Galilee. Right? Then Pench Tiger Reserve. In which state is this Pench Tiger Reserve? So this is present in Maharashtra. Madhya Pradesh kada? Madhya Pradesh kada? I think it's Madhya Pradesh, right? Madhya Pradesh kada? Yes. It is in Madhya Pradesh. Sorry. So, Madhya Pradesh kada? Yes. So Madhya Pradesh, why it is in use? Because it has been designated as dark sky park. Add in your light pollution there, PCM students. In the light pollution, add it as in current affairs. So the Pench Tiger Reserve, it has been designated as India's first dark sky park, becoming 5th in Asia. It aims to protect the night sky from light pollution, enhancing stargazing opportunities and preserving nocturnal ecosystems. So this is where the Pench Tiger Reserve is. Madhya Pradesh, location is southernmost part of this Madhya Pradesh. Or is it spread across the border? Just go back and check. As far as I remember, it is Madhya Pradesh only. Just confirm once. And then this Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Next one. Why isn't it news? Yes. Environmentalists were so concerned about the Russia-Ukraine war. So it might damage or pose threat to this nuclear power plant. So it is present in Ukraine. Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. So located in southeastern Ukraine near the city of Enrichment, Europe's largest nuclear facility. So this has been caught between the Russian and Ukraine forces. So safety and security due to the conflict. So IAEA Director General Rafael Marino, he has highlighted the untenable situation there, emphasizing the need of nuclear safety and security protection zone. So these are the Ukraine's nuclear power plants which is present in the southeast region, Zaporizhia, Chernobyl, Rhine, Klemensky and South Ukraine. So these are the different nuclear power plants. Question might come like this also. Which of the following is not Ukraine's? If possible, try to note down only 4 only. Na? Chernobyl anyway you will remember. Now Zaporizhia you will remember. Remaining 3 only. Na? Rhine, Klemensky and South Ukraine. South Ukraine anyway you can know it is in Ukraine. Only 2 names you have to remember now. So this is about Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in news because of the Russia and Ukraine war. Then Esquimalt region. The Esquimalt region. So this is a zone of contention between Guyana and Venezuela. So Venezuela and Guyana, currently in Guyana country in South America. So Venezuela claims that this region belongs to Venezuela because this is high in natural resources. The Essequibo region, contested region between Guyana and Venezuela. Question come like, the Essequibo region recently in news is a zone of contention between which countries? A and B, C and D, D and D, right? Essequibo region. So Venezuela has claimed this region, asserting that it is a part of Spanish colonial era. So this is Venezuela, Guyana. This part is Essequibo region, which has multiple oil fields, multiple natural resources. That is why Venezuela is so interested about this region. Right? So these are some of the places in news for the first 4 months of this year. Then we will move to the IR section. What is FMR? Yes. Yes. So India and Myanmar's border has not been, there is no complete, what is called, there are still the porous borders. There is no fencing as there. So people are allowed to travel both sides 16 kilometers into the territory of other country. 16 kilometers. So that is free movement regime between India and Myanmar. Why this is in news? India wants to revoke this, citing security reasons. So across the border between India and Myanmar, people can travel with valid documents 16 kilometers. They can stay up to 1 month on the other side of border. So which security force guards this border? Assam Rifles. Assam Rifles guard this border. So India has a border of around 1560 kilometers with India and with Myanmar. India-Myanmar border is around 1560 kilometers. To be precise, sorry, 1650, not 1560, 1650. So Arunachal Pradesh 520, they might give as it is in news, ascending, descending also. So try to remember. Arunachal Pradesh 520, Mizoram 510, then Nagaland, not Manipur 398, and then Nagaland. This is around 210, 215. Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Nagaland. Try to remember that order. So India wants to revoke this FMR. That is why it is in news. So the free movement regime is along the India-Myanmar border. It is a significant arrangement that facilitates movement of the tribal populations living on the either side of the border. So length is around 1643 to be precise. Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Nagaland. So border security is done by Assam Rifles. So key features, it is a bilateral arrangements where allowing the ethnic tribe to travel 16 kilometers inside the other country without needing a visa. A border pass is issued to the individuals, typically valid for 1 year. Sorry, I said 1 month, right? 1 year. Please correct it. Border pass is valid for 1 year. It permits to stay up to 2 weeks in the other country. So if you take border pass, it is valid for 1 year. Without border pass, if you come, you can stay up to only 2 weeks. So correct it. I think I have told that wrong. So suspension, it was suspended. India suspended FMR following 2021 military coup in Myanmar and then associated crisis. So influx of 40,000 refugees, mainly ethnic Kuki, Chin, Jo groups, put pressure on the border regions, particularly Mizoram and Manipur. Now it wants completely to remove that. India wants to completely to remove that. So this is the border, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. I don't know now how you are remembering. When we used to prepare, we used to remember like Aruna Mami, that sequence. So this according to the difference in the kilometers, you try to remember that ascending descending order. Then Weimar Triangle. This is one other news in IR. So the Weimar Triangle, this is formed by 3 countries, France, Germany and Poland. So named after Weimar in the Germany. Weimar Triangle, 3 countries, France, Germany and Poland, primarily about their regional politics, economy, culture and security. France, Germany and Poland. Weimar Triangle. So a forum of dialogue and cooperation, political dialogue, cooperation. France, Germany and Poland. Weimar Triangle. Then Mission Aspides. Why is this in news? Mission Aspides is an initiative from EU over the sea piracy from Houthis, Houthi rebels in Yemen, in Red Sea, by EU in Red Sea, countering activities of Houthis from Yemen. Mission Aspides. So So the Houthis have been targeting cargo ships since November 2023, claiming to act in solidarity with the Palestinians, Hamas, right? So Red Sea, it is an important seawater inlet of the Indian Ocean located between Africa and Asia. It connects Indian Ocean via Gulf of Aden through which strait? Bab el Mandeb. Countries bordering Red Sea. Please try to remember this also as the map based question. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Sudan, Eritrea and Djibouti. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti will be here. Here we studied now while reading about the borders of Gulf of Aden. So it is bordered by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Sudan, Eritrea and Djibouti. If you frequently see these maps, it will be easy to remember rather than remembering like fact. If you keep seeing this, you will automatically remember. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. So only in this 1 hour period you have remembered this Bab el Mandeb. Similarly, Red Sea, Gulf of Aden. Here it is Somalia, Yemen, Oman. This country you know best. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. When you try to see frequently, you will easily remember. There is no need of mugging it up. Mugging of which are the borders. Now we have seen the map of the Aral Sea, between which countries? Kazakh and Uzbek. So once you see the maps frequently, like once in a month, you will get to remember it easily in the exam. That's not a problem. So here the mission aspects is about the European Union's initiative in dealing with the sea piracy attacks which are supported by Houthis in Yemen. Why Houthis are doing this? This is about the solidarity with the Palestine. So Israel's war on Gaza, attacks in the Red Sea. Houthi fighters have attacked Israel-linked ships in the Red Sea, disrupting the maritime trade. So to prevent this, European Union has launched Mission Aspects. Right? So who are Houthis? So they are the rebel group in Yemen following Shia beliefs, Jihadi Shia beliefs. They have been engaged in a civil war against the Yemeni government. They control northern Yemen, including capital Sana'a, while Yemeni government operates from Aden. They receive support from Iran, while Yemeni government is backed by Saudi Arabia. Right? So some facts about Houthis. Right, shall we move to the next? So what are dual use items? What are dual use items? So that can serve both civilian and military purposes. So items which can serve both civilian and military purposes are termed as dual use items or dual use goods. So this has been news because one Indian company has been banned by European Union, citing it is flouting the rules. So examples are drones, nuclear material. So these are the examples of dual use goods, where the goods which has been prescribed for specific purpose, that will be directed towards the other purpose. So that those goods are referred to as dual use goods. It is a term refers to the products or technologies that can serve both civilian and military purposes. So items include wide range of industries, but can also be misused for military applications or development of terrorist weapons. Examples: GPS satellites, missiles, nuclear technologies, biological tools, drones, night vision technology, thermal imaging equipment. So all these are used across multiple industries for civilian purposes. At the same time, they could be used for military purposes also. So when there is a trade are happening, they will be prescribed for specific purpose only. When that purpose is being misused for military purposes or serving for terrorist activities, so actions will be taken against them, like banning. So these are the dual use goods. So this is in news because one of the Indian company has got banned. Then next one, Sitwe port. Where is it located, Sitwe port? Myanmar. So what is its importance? It is a part of Kaladan multimodal transport. So it will, what is Chicken's Neck? Siliguri corridor. So Chicken's Neck is Siliguri corridor where India had to, the shipment of the goods, it has to take a long way to come into the Indian territory. Maybe not just India, you can reframe it like it has to take long way. Once this port gets operational, it will reduce much of the distance. So India has to go all this way to provide goods here through Chicken's corridor. So once this Sitwe port of the Myanmar, which is in collaboration with India, gets operational, this sea route it reduces the distance very much. It is only 600 kilometers. Whereas if it has to go like this, it takes more than 2000 kilometers. Right? So that is the importance of this Kaladan multimodal transport project. It aims to create an integrated transport network connecting Bay of Bengal to the northeastern states of India. So port characteristics, it is a deep water port capable of large vessels, accommodation of large vessels. Its coastal locations also provides a direct access to the maritime trade routes. It is present in Myanmar, Sitwe port, a part of Kaladan multimodal transport system. A very important project for India's interest for promoting the connectivity in northeastern region. Sitwe port. So this will connect, this distance will get drastically reduced. So the connection from Kolkata port, Hooghly port to Sitwe port is only around 540 kilometers. Kaladan multimodal transport project. Then the next one, Affinity Nikitin Seamount. So India has applied an application. Why it is in news? India has filed an application with International Seabed Authority to explore the minerals of this seamount, which is present in the Central Indian Ocean. Central Indian Ocean. The Affinity Nikitin Seamount, it is present in the Central Indian Ocean, approximately 3000 kilometers. So it rises about 1200 meters from the sea floor, which is located at a depth of 4800 meters. It is rich in cobalt, nickel, manganese, copper. Cobalt, nickel, manganese and copper. So India has filed an application with International Seabed Authority for exploration of these minerals. So what is International Seabed Authority? It is an organization which is under UN clause. What is UN clause? United Nations Conventions and Laws on Open Seas. United Nations Conventions and Laws on Open Seas. So under this International Seabed Authority has been established, which will deal with deep seabed related activities. So it will regulate the activities which will harm the marine environment. So headquartered in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, International Seabed Authority. So this is the location of FNSA Nikitin Seamount, around 3000 kilometers. Sorry. So it is in Central Indian Ocean. It is in Central Indian Ocean. FNSA Nikitin Seamount. What is seamount? Yes, a small mountain which is present at the ocean floor. If you remember the study of ocean floor, you will see seamount. What is Goyot? Goyot is ridge deep in the seabed. Goyots. Then Genocide Convention, a continuation to that discussion we had in polity. Regarding ICJ, we had that discussion. So Genocide Convention, why it is in news? Because South Africa has filed this Genocide Convention against Israel because of its military operations in Gaza. So provisional measures, they said that ICJ ruled out that Israel must take all measures to prevent genocidal acts in Gaza. However, it did not find Israel guilty. So Genocide Convention is in news. So what is about Genocide Convention is, it is officially known as Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. So Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crimes of Genocide. So what is genocide is? Commission of acts with an intent to destroy completely or partially a nation, ethnic, racial or religious group. So this is the definition according to that convention. Commissioning of acts with an intention to completely eliminate a nation, part or religion or a group, that is genocide. So in this connection, you also try to see the difference between ICJ and ICC, International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court. So this was established according to the UN Charter, ICJ, formerly referred as World Court, whereas this is independent one. It may receive referrals from the UN. It is established in 2002. Both capitals are located in the Hague, Netherlands. So types of cases, it will be the contentious cases between parties, whereas in ICC it will be criminal prosecution of individuals. Criminal prosecution of individuals. Subject matter like sovereignty, maritime disputes, trades, natural resources, human rights, treaty violations or violations of any international laws, all those will be in ICJ. Generally war crimes related thing will be in ICC. Genocides, crimes against humanity, war crimes, crimes of aggression, all this will be in ICC. Funding, as it is a part of UN, it is UN funded. So this assess the contribution from state parties to the Rome Statute, voluntary contributions from UN and different governmental and intergovernmental organizations. So the main difference is it deals with the treaties, laws, intergovernmental or global laws, global treaties, global agreements with the ICJ, whereas ICC is mainly with war crimes. War crimes. You have to remember that. So that is the difference between ICJ and ICC. Then BRICS. Why BRICS is in news? Yes. 4 members have been recently added to join this group. So originally Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Recently Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran and UAE. The 4 countries. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran and UAE. They have joined. The BRICS membership has got extended. Saudi is in process of joining. Argentina was willing to join but backed out. Saying, what was the contention of Argentina? Too much of domination by China in the BRICS group. So, this was the contention of Argentina, so that is why it got backed out. Yes. So the new members are 4: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran and UAE. Brazil, South Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt, India, China, Russia, Iran, UAE. Then next one, Shahpur Kandi barrage on Ravi River. It is about Indus Water Treaty. It is about Indus Water Treaty, Shahpur Kandi barrage on Ravi River. So India has almost completed this barrage on Ravi River, where there complete redirection of water from the Ravi River towards Indian states. So this is one of the bone of contention from the Pakistan. So India has been requesting to reiterate or revise the Indus Water Treaty from multiple years. But there has been no response from the Pakistan. So this marks a significant milestone in India's water management and agricultural development, where it will provide water resources to J&K, Punjab and Rajasthan. What was the earlier? Kiru hydroelectric project. On which river? Chenab river. This one, Shahpur Kandi barrage on Ravi river. So location is in Punjab. Kiru in Jammu and Kashmir. So also try to remember that north to south, south to north of those 6 rivers. That question was also asked multiple times in UPSC Prelims. North to south, south to north arrangement of this Indus river water system. So location, it is in Punjab. So it is Indus Water Treaty. So it is brokered by the World Bank. The treaty allocates the water rights for the 6 rivers. 3 eastern rivers, Ravi, BS and Satluj to the India, Pakistan, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. So this is Indus Water Treaty. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, BS, Satluj. So try to remember this. The north to south also, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, BS and Satluj. Right? Then Operation Indravati. So Operation Indravati is an initiative from Government of India to rescue nationals in where? Dominican Republic. Yes, Dominican Republic. It is an evacuation. Yes, what did you say? It is an ఏమన్నారండి? నైజీరియా కాదండి, అది డిఆర్సి, డెమోక్రటిక్ రిపబ్లిక్ ఆఫ్ కాంగో. అది దిస్ ప్రజెంట్స్ ఇన్ అట్లాంటిక్ ఓషన్ నియర్ యుఎస్ బార్డర్. డొమినిక్ రిపబ్లిక్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది, నియర్ క్యూబా, అట్లాంటిక్ ఓషన్. So Operation Indravati is India's evacuation mission aimed at safely repatriating its nationals from Haiti. That region is known as Haiti. Amid escalating violence and political instability, the first successfully evacuated 12 nationals to the Dominican Republic. This region is known as Haiti. It is present in Atlantic Ocean, Northern Atlantic Ocean. So try to remember these different operations of rescuing, evacuations in the recent time. Operation Ganga from Ukraine, Operation Devi Shakti from Afghanistan, Insaniyat from Syria, Rahat from Yemen, Operation Maitri during earthquake in Nepal, Safe Homecoming from Iraq. At least till here you remember, these are very old. If you can remember, that is also fine, but at least remember the recent ones. Operation Ganga, Ukraine, Operation Devi Shakti, Afghanistan, Insaniyat, Syria, Rahat, Yemen, Maitri, Nepal. At least try to remember the recent ones. Political instability. At least try to remember recent ones. Operation Ganga, Devi Shakti, Insaniyat, Rahat, Maitri. Right? So those were some important things in the IR. You want this slide? Now we'll move to some important topics of geography. So what is Pancheshwar multi-purpose project? Why it is in news? With which country India is developing this? Nepal. On which river? Mahakali river. It is a proposed project on Mahakali river along the borders of India and Nepal, where the benefits of both hydroelectricity and irrigation that will be shared between India and Nepal. So the project will be located in Mahakali river, which forms a natural border between India and Nepal in Uttarakhand region. Pancheshwar multi-purpose project. So the Mahakali river originates from Greater Himalayas in Uttarakhand, a place called Kalapani. Then it forms the boundary between India and Nepal, and it reaches a place called Banavasa in Uttarakhand. And then it becomes Sharda river from there, Sharda river. So this is a part of Ganga river system, finally flowing into Ganga at Madhubani. So Mahakali river, it arises in Kalapani, it turns into Sharda river at Banavasa, and then merges into Ganga at Madhubani. Three places: Kalapani, Banavasa and Madhubani. So on this river, which forms a natural boundary between India and Nepal in the state of, along the border of Uttarakhand, a proposed project, this multi-purpose project called Pancheshwar multi-purpose project is being taken. Right? So this is projected to have 4,800 megawatt capacity between India and Nepal. It also aims to provide irrigation benefits to the around 0.43 million hectares. So proposed height is around 310, main dam of reservoir 11,600 hectares. So these are the features of Pancheshwar multipurpose project. Try to remember this Mahakali river, on which river it is being constructed, and the countries. Right? Then next one. So Himachal Pradesh had very least amount of snowfall in this year. So that is why it is in news. Himachal Pradesh, which generally sees a large amount of snow, had a drastic reduction in early January, where 99% of shortfall of the rainfall compared to the normal levels, because there were changes in the western disturbances, climate change activities. So these were amounted to decreased rainfall in Himachal Pradesh in the form of snow. How does this snow forms? Snow forms in sub-zero temperatures, where the water droplets condense around the dust particles, very micro dust particles that forms the snowflakes, which will form as a snow. Right? So this Indian Meteorological Department, it has said that driest January since 1901 in Himachal Pradesh. That is why it is in news. The snow is ice crystal that falls as a snowflake. It develops in a sub-zero temperatures, below freezing temperatures. Right? So reason for lack of snowfall in Himachal Pradesh, fall in the number of western disturbances. This has been amounted as the reason for the lack of the snow in Himachal Pradesh. What are western disturbances? Yes, correct. From the mid-latitude regions, they come towards India, thereby defining the weather pattern. So western disturbances are storms originating from the mid-latitude regions, which travel across the northern India, bringing rainfall and snowfall. So this frequency of western disturbances has got decreased. Generally 5 to 7 will be there. However, there was not even one in this year, leading to the more than 80 to 90% reduction of the rainfall in the form of snow in Himachal Pradesh. So fall in the number of western disturbances. This is an important thing. Typically 5 to 7 disturbances will be there. And also the prevalence of El Nino conditions. It is again affecting the amount of rainfall in India. What is El Nino? El Nino is the warming of the temperatures across, where? Yes, Peru, near Eastern Pacific. This will lead to a condition where drought conditions or scanty rainfall in a complex mechanism. El Nino Southern Oscillation, ENSO event. Right? So El Nino weakens the trade winds affecting the Indian monsoon, leading to the suppressed rainfall. This year El Nino event has contributed to the lower than normal rainfall in the northern India. And then third one, absence of absence of strong jet stream. Absence of strong jet stream. So these are, what is jet stream? High altitude air circulation. So that is jet stream. So this absence has also resulted in lack of rainfall. So these are fast moving air currents high in the atmosphere, jet streams, a pack of air. So these winds typically blow from west to east, carrying in the name of western cyclonic disturbances. If the jet stream shift to the north or south, it will affect the arrival of western disturbances in India. So this indirectly affecting the first point, lack of western disturbances. So a weaker absent jet stream, it will delay or prevent the arrival of these disturbances, thereby reducing the rainfall. So these are the prime causes of Himachal Pradesh recording 90% decline of the January precipitation in its normal levels. Decreased western disturbances, El Nino event, and absence of this strong jet streams. So western disturbances, if they present, they give rain. El Nino, it suppresses the rain, and strong jet stream, if it present, it gives the rain. So absence of this has resulted in fall in the precipitation levels of snowfall in Himachal Pradesh. One of the important question for UPSC. It could be asked in mains also. Right? Then next one, Afar triangle. Did you read about this? Where is it? At the Horn of Africa. Afar triangle is a region at the Horn of Africa where there is Somalian plate, African plate and Nebulan plate. Those three are going away from each other because of your geographical theory of divergent tectonics, plate tectonics. So what happens when the plates move away from each other? There will be a gap will be forming. So here there is a chance of sixth ocean. So that is the news. So Arabian tectonic plate, Somalian tectonic plate, Nubian tectonic plate. Everyone is moving away from each other. Thereby this region is known as triangle, Afar triangle. So this one, Afar triangle, Arabian plate, Nubian plate and Somalian plate at the Horn of Africa. So geologists have discovered that the fault system in Afar region which could lead to a new ocean, sixth ocean. So this phenomenon is linked to Afar triple junction as a part of Great African Rift system. So the Afar triangle is formed by triple junction where three plates, Nubian plate, Somalian plate and Arabian plate, three plates. Nubian towards west of Africa which is pulling towards west of Africa, Somalian towards the south and Arabian towards the north of Asia. Divergent plate tectonics theory which is leading to the fault. So location, it is situated in northern Ethiopia at Horn of Africa, northern Ethiopia. So Afar triple junction is located at the meeting Red Sea Rift, Aden Ridge, East African Rift. So this region is also referred to as Afar triple junction, junction of this Red Sea Rift on the north, Aden Ridge, Gulf of Aden Ridge and East African Rift. Also note this point, triple junction, Afar triple junction, junction of Red Sea Rift, Aden Ridge and East African Rift. Afar junction, Afar triangle, triangle is with the plates, junction is with this divergent tectonic boundaries, Red Sea Rift, Aden Ridge and East African Rift. So what happens after the depression? The Afar depression is geological depression created by the rifting process. This is also known as Danakil depression or Danakil plain. Danakil depression or Danakil plain. So it is situated in Horn of Africa, north of Ethiopia, Djibouti and Eritrea, at the junction of that countries. Afar triangle, Danakil depression or Danakil plains. So this is a triangle located at Horn of Africa, Nubian, Somali and Arabian plates in the Great Rift Valley of East Africa, spans across Eritrea, Djibouti and Ethiopia. It contains Lake Assal, which is Africa's lowest point. Lake Assal. It is bordered by Ethiopian Plateau, Danakil Block, Somalia Plateau and Ali Shabi Block. Ali Sabi Block. So it is located at Eritrea, Djibouti and Ethiopia. Lake Assal. It is the deepest point in Africa, lowest point. So this is known as triple Afar triangle or Danakil depression, Afar depression. Right? This is what happened. This is happening because of divergent plate tectonic boundaries. What will happen with the convergent boundaries? Ocean, what will happen? Three types of conversion: ocean, continent, ocean, continent, continent, ocean, ocean.
Raising continental plate.
Yes.
Continent is cold oceans.
Ocean continent can be forming volcano
Hmm.
formations. Ocean lead to deep trenches.
Trench కాదు, ట్రెంచ్ కాదు, పైకే వస్తుంది.
Mid-oceanic ridges.
Mid-oceanic ridges. Then next one, right, clear about that Afar triangle? Then next one, Netravati waterfront promenade project. So this is in news because the recent NGT, it has the whatever the project is, it has been being constructed, it came under scrutiny by NGT due to alleged violation of coastal regulation zone norms. So in geography you have to remember about this Netravati river. So Netravati river, it originates in Yelaniru Ghat in Karnataka. Yelaniru Ghat in Karnataka. It flows to the pilgrimage site of Dharmasthala, merging into Kumaradhara river. Kumaradhara. And then draining into Arabian Sea. So this is considered one of the India's holy rivers. Kumaradhara, it drains into Kumaradhara and then finally into Arabian Sea. It is considered one of the holy rivers of India. So if you see, this is the Netravati river. It drains into this Kumaradhara river and then finally they open into Arabian Sea. This is Netravati, draining into Kumaradhara river. Right? So if you see the locations, so these are the different rivers. Please write or note it down. North to south are different rivers which are draining into the Arabian Sea. Mandovi, Zuari in Goa, Kalinadi, Shravati, Netravati in Karnataka, Bharatapuzha, Periyar and Pamba in Kerala. Please note it down. From north to south, south to north, that questions they might pose are regarding which state and Arabian Sea. That question also might come in UPSC Prelims. Like Shravati drains into Arabian Sea in Kerala. Statement 1. Statement 2. Netravati belongs to Goa state, or the drainage of Netravati is in Goa. So such twisting will be there, or matching. This side river, this side state, match the state, or how many pairs are correctly matched. This kind of questions can come. Mandovi, Zuari, Kalinadi, Shravati, Netravati, Bharatapuzha, Periyar and Pamba. Note down the states. Mandovi, Zuari in Goa. Kalinadi, Shravati and Netravati in Karnataka. Bharatapuzha, Periyar and Pamba in Kerala, draining into. Yes. So why is it in news is because NGD has come and has taken actions on this project, Netravati Waterfront Promenade project. Then this is one other important issue, it might come in UPSC Prelims. Lamphel Lake in Manipur. So this is one of the astounding success story in rejuvenation of water body. So this is spearheaded by Manipur Water Resource Department with collaboration of Ministry of Jal Shakti. So located in Manipur, Imphal, Lamphel Lake, where the restoration of water body happened. So this was the status before restoration, and after restoration it became like this. It was the status before restoration. One of the astounding success in restoration of water body, Lamphel Lake in Manipur. So try to value add about water pollution, water conservation measures and whatever the thing with your notes. Then next one. This is important, next one. Antarctic circumpolar current. It also got tired, it seems. So Antarctic, write it down. Meanwhile, let the slide come. It might take 1-2 minutes. That's fine. Antarctic circumpolar current. Yes. లేదమ్మా అవ్వదే 3 hours పెట్టినాం కదా. Yes. So Antarctic circumpolar current. What is ocean current? So the movement of water, ocean water. So what is surface current and what is deep current? Vertical movement. Right. Then, so this Antarctic circumpolar current, this has been recently news because it is the current which encircles the Antarctic area, and this forms a barrier where the Antarctic coast water will not get mixed with the remaining water bodies, remaining oceans. So if you see the picture, if this is Antarctica, so this is ACC, Antarctic circumpolar current. Antarctic circumpolar current. So Southern Ocean, the Southern Ocean which surrounds the Antarctica, and acts as a distinct continuous body of water. It serves as a key barrier that isolates the coastal waters of Antarctica with other oceans. So it provides essential chemical nutrients available for the Antarctic ecosystem, the southern ocean in which this Antarctic circumpolar current operates. So it is the largest wind-driven current on Earth, making a crucial factor on ocean circulation. It is the only current that flows uninterrupted around the planet, connecting Atlantic, Pacific and Indian Oceans. So ACC is powered by strong westerly winds which were discovered by Halley. So this is in black in color, I will dictate. The ACC acts as massive flow of water that separate southern ocean from the more temperature warmer oceans. It is acting as a barrier. Then it helps to control the distribution of heat across the globe. It plays a vital role in distribution of the nutrients. This one, from west to east. Circumpolar current, Antarctic circumpolar current. Different types of ocean currents, just to brush you. Please remember this is also one of the important topics. Warm currents, cold currents, right? This is California current, Peru current, Venezuela, Canary current, when it goes, Northern Atlantic drift, Gulf Stream current, Brazilian current, and this is Agulhas current, Oyashio coming from Northern Kuroshio, Eastern Australian current. These are equatorial currents, Northern equatorial, Southern equatorial, counter currents will be there. Try to remember in which area and which ocean these currents. Also, warm currents and cold currents. Alaskan current, Gulf Stream current. Right? Try to remember, multiple times these questions were being asked. So here, the thing we were discussing, Antarctic circumpolar current. Without any hindrance, it will complete the full circle, unlike other currents. Right? So then, the last one in geography, atmospheric river. Atmospheric river. So this is in news because it had an high impact in California. So what is atmospheric river? A river in atmosphere. How it is formed? Because of large volumes of water condensation that is being carried by a big stream of air. When it comes in landfall with the, when it comes to contact with the land, it will give severe amount of rain, very heavy precipitation of rain. That is the water that is being carried in the form of a river. That is atmospheric river. So atmospheric river is a relatively narrow concentrated plum of moisture that forms over the oceans. It could lead to the intense rainfall or snowfall when it comes with the land, contact with the land. So it forms when a large scale weather patterns create a narrow channels of moisture, intense moisture transport, typically starting over warm tropical oceans. Warm tropical oceans. These moisture laden air masses are guided towards the land by low level jet streams ahead of the cold fronts. They are guided by low level jet streams. I'll show you the image, you will get clear picture. So this large chunk of water is being carried by the jet stream. When it comes in contact with the land, because of change of temperature, there will be heavy condensation and heavy precipitation. So this is what happened in California. Sudden floods were there. So these moisture laden air masses that are guided towards land by the jet streams ahead of the cold fronts. Atmospheric river. So it is also referred to as river in the sky. It generally occurs all over the world, but most common in mid latitudes. Most common in mid latitudes. River in the sky. Right? So there we will end today. Right? Right? Thank you for listening.